not being able to read words, you're dyslexic. We're tattooing your body and cutting off your genitals. It's not mental illness, it's just another Sunday. That's unacceptable. I truly think this is indicative of a culture that hates men. This is genital mutilation for the Western civilization. When women hear a man say, I want to cut my dick off, they don't say, oh my God, come here, come. We will love you, we will care about you, and make you feel special. No, they say what we'll do is, yeah, you're alone, yeah, you're by yourself, and yeah, the best way for you to be happy is to get an operation.
My name is Jay, and don't know about the situation there. They're for our largest country in censorship. They censor journalists, they censor people. My uncle is in prison because he wanted to ran for the municipal election, and he wasn't the way I visited. They censor people for dissenting against the government, and that's the main reason why my father left the country. He actually left on foot. He became a refugee. He left the country because he had no political freedom. He had no social opportunity. He has no fundamental rights. Not fundamental rights of freedom of expression. He didn't have the right to freedom of association. And he left Ethiopia on foot, searching for a better country. He ended up going to Egypt, he ended up going to Israel, he ended up going to Palestine, he ended up going into Europe, and then he settled in Canada. Because at the time, and this was probably the 80s or 90s, but at the time, this was the country that was the haven for political freedom and social freedom, and the haven for free speech and the freedom of expression and association. And as we see these laws that are being passed, as we see this culture rising up that tells people, not arguing, not debating, they're not telling people, oh, I disagree with you, here's why. They're censoring you based off of
immigrants' experience,
based off of what you believe in. And that's why my father left Ethiopia. And that's why I'm glad to call myself a Canadian.
Everybody's an asshole!
Because my parents, they experienced real, in Ethiopia, my parents experienced real political oppression. They experienced actual discrimination. And they left that country because there was a legal standard. When people tell you that they don't believe in freedom of speech, that they don't believe in freedom of expression, that they don't believe in freedom of association, just understand that it's those types of people, and it's that type of culture, and it's that type of society that creates the oppressive states that so many people crawl and escape from. That's really all I gotta say. I believe in freedom of opportunity, freedom of expression, freedom of association, and freedom to say whatever the hell you want. Use your head to freedom to disagree. But you do not have the freedom to censor.
Look at this thing! Look at this thing! Look at that!
somebody actually should. Oh, sleeping Lord.
Oh wait, it's Will Thompson's brother. What happened? That was oh, that's my friend. I just called my friend a faggot. Oh.
Hello, thank you very much for your wonderful words. Thank you very much for sharing your story. I'd like to welcome Lewis to the stage.
Hello. Okay, first off, I want to say a little bit about myself. I'm also an immigrant. I was born and raised in the Philippines. I moved here in 2008 when I was 17 years old. And I know what bullying is like, because I was bullied as a kid, alright? And why was I bullied as a kid? I had certain mental health issues. I won't disclose what they are. But suffice to say that growing up, I was the class nerd. I had all these ideas that went over everyone's heads, and because nobody understood the ideas, they mocked me, all right? They called me names, and they didn't listen to any of the ideas that I had to tell them. And I moved to Canada when I was 17 years old, and I found a society where everyone is much more open to express the ideas that they have, and mental health is taken more seriously. That is one of the great things about Canada that I really appreciate.
Every day.
And I'm glad that I could have a platform like this where I could speak freely, and there are many parts of the world where you can't do that.
Like here.
Now that I got that out of the way, I have to say that what I'm seeing around me is another example of the kind of experience that I had as a kid. You know, those kindergarten bullies who made fun of you because you said things that were outside of their worldview. I'm encountering them again, right here in university. Like, you would think that as we would grow up and we mature and we recognize that not everyone holds the same ideas that we would understand the importance of civil discourse and trying to rationally communicate with one another to settle those differences. Unfortunately, it seems that a large number of people make it to university without ever shedding those childish notions of what it means to disagree with someone. And we're seeing that right here, where we're encountering the very same people who made fun of the kids in elementary school or in middle school for having different ideas. Now they're doing it at only a marginally more sophisticated level. Now they do it with philosophical and political ideas that they disagree with, and they try to get people in politics to basically legislate against those ideas that they find offensive. They have no idea what they're getting themselves into, because the very same laws that they wield against people they disagree with could very well be turned against them in the near future. To conclude, I want to refer everyone to an article on the internet. It's called "I'm a Liberal Professor and My Liberal Students Terrify Me." This is on Vox.com if anyone wants to look it up. I just want to quote to you a section of this article. So the real problem that we're facing in academia right now is a simplistic, unworkable, and ultimately stifling conception of social justice. And the author goes on to say, this shift in student-teacher dynamic placed many of the traditional goals of higher education, such as having students challenge their beliefs, off limits. While I used to pride myself on getting students to question themselves and engage with difficult concepts and texts, I now hesitate. What if this hurts my evaluations and I don't get tenure? How many complaints will it take before chairs and administrators begin to worry that I'm not giving our customers, or students, the positive experience they're paying for? 10, half a dozen, 2 or 3? This phenomenon has been widely discussed as of late, mostly as a means of dividing political, economic, or cultural forces writers don't care much for. Commentators on the left and right have recently criticized the sensitivity and paranoia of today's college students. They worry about the stifling of free speech, the implementation of unenforceable conduct codes, and a general hostility against opinions and viewpoints that could cause students so much as a hint of discomfort. It's not just that students refuse to countenance uncomfortable ideas, they refuse to engage them, period. And that is all.
The discussion right now is white noise. This is not a reasoned argument. This is not logic. This is not rational discussion. This is literally white noise. So I am looking forward to someone from the opposition to come up here and say something other than using adjectives. Say something other than using transphobe or bigot or racist. No, if you believe those things, please substantiate your claims. Because I'm ready for you to substantiate your claims. Now, this floor is open. I know this floor isn't very welcoming, but this floor is open for you right now. Is there anybody that would like to make a statement, please? Yes, sir. Would like to make a statement? Your name was?
toilets. So I like how they're drowning me out, even though they don't know if I'm for or against their opinions. Most of them have come here 2 minutes after Dr. Peterson came. They did not listen at all, and they are the ones who call us the bigots, the ones that we don't listen. Let me tell you, alright? Like the other two speakers, I am an immigrant, and I am proud of this fucking country, alright? So I came from the People's Republic of China, and there's a word we get. If an institution fires a professor based on their political beliefs, their moral beliefs, right? We call that a purge, alright? We do not want to see people getting purged in this nation for their political beliefs, for speaking out what might not be what the majority accept, alright? That's how we move forward as a free society. I don't know if, is Dr. Peterson still here? Alright, Dr. Peterson, I have some words for you, alright? The University of Toronto is, they're run by fools if they think that the right action is to basically stop you from teaching, alright? You have contributed more to the field of psychology than your postdoctors have for probably the rest of their entire lives. There's the reasons why my country left our nation, to enjoy these Western values of freedom of speech. You cannot get rid of one of these rights just to support another. That's not how human rights work. Now, I also want to say, if there's anything that you'd like to take away from this statement, is that you do not give people voices by silencing others. Thank you.
Thank you so much, David. Thank you so much, David. So, Dr. Peterson's a bit busy down there, but Lauren, would you like to continue the statement that you made earlier on, now that we have audio equipment? We could try. We'll keep it going for as long as we can.
So I brought a bit to say here. I was going to read it earlier, but we had people screaming, we had white noise machines. I just asked for a few of their opinions, and they told me their opinions were F you. Very articulate, as usual. So it is just a pleasure to come back to this university and see that the people that are being allowed to speak on the stage today are people of all skin colors, of all sexualities and genders, because I attended the protest against Dr. Peterson last week, and they had restrictions on who could speak there. They laughed at and mocked the very idea that people with white skin color, cisgender individuals, can have opinions. Young men who had no bigotry in their hearts were shouting down